While Call of Duty is primarily a bombastic and action-focused franchise, Black Ops 6 proves to me that soldiers aren't an interesting character to play as, at least in a real-world setting. Don't get me wrong, if a game can surprise me with creative concepts only possible in sci-fi and alternate history media, then I'm all for being a grunt on the front lines who's there to achieve his mission. But in a real-world setting like Call of Duty, there's only so much that's possible from both a gameplay and storytelling perspective. For example, even if you're the most legendary soldier in the world, all you can really do from a gameplay perspective is fight. This lends itself well to fighting against mystical and sci-fi threats, incorporating fantastical level design and concepts, but ask yourself how fun would Halo and Doom be if you fought against humans with all the creative weapons removed. This is the problem I found with the Modern Warfare trilogy, which to be fair is the only COD games outside of Black Ops 6 I've played, because Activision won't lower the price on 10-year-old games with no online community. You're not goddamn Nintendo, discount the freaking price or put them on Game Pass. But back to the point, the Modern Warfare trilogy grew staler over time, as the real-world setting constricted what could be achieved from a level design standpoint. But more to the point is that a soldier doesn't make for a compelling protagonist, at least in Call of Duty. Characters like Master Chief and Marcus Phoenix are compelling because they experience countless losses and continue to push forward. You play as a mute in Call of Duty, so there's nothing to get attached to, and the game is too short for me as a player to form a meaningful attachment to any side characters. It truly baffles me why people care so much about Ghost, who I paid no mind to until I saw that everyone apparently loved him. But Black Ops 6 presents a character who, while also a mute, isn't a soldier, which makes him and his team a much more interesting type of operative. A spy. The great thing about being a spy is that it allows your character to form a more meaningful role in the story. See, even if you're the greatest soldier in the world and you're the key to winning the war, you're still just one man in an army of soldiers. You're the most critical piece of the machine, but ultimately you're still just a cog. Meanwhile, a spy gets to shape the narrative around their actions. Their secretive missions are the key to letting the soldier win their battles, so the rest of the army depends on your success, making you have much more of an impact on the wider narrative despite being in the shadows. While being the world's best soldier and the world's best spy both give you the power fantasy of being the hero, the spy feels more rewarding because the character doesn't get the glory like the soldier does. There's something that's more heroic about saving the world but not receiving any reward for it. It makes your actions feel more selfless and like you did it for the cause rather than the achievement. It just feels like a more badass accomplishment. But my favorite difference between soldier and spy narratives is that only one allows for the breadth of gameplay styles present in Black Ops 6, which I credit as the game's biggest achievement. From stealth to puzzle to open world and even horror, only someone whose job it is to tackle every challenge imaginable could have such a diverse game built around them. While some of these could be done by a soldier, I just can't imagine Captain Price going undercover at a casino and playing poker. That feels like something that only a spy could do. And the best part about it is that you don't have to sacrifice anything a soldier couldn't do. I cannot understate how awesome that airport level was. A totally chaotic, high-intensity, explosion-riddled firefight that ends with a plane getting shot by a tank was pure FPS excellence, and it would feel right at home in a Modern Warfare game. While spending a level in the mind of the villain as they unravel their traumatic past would feel extremely incongruent with an experience built solely around the intensity of war, but here in a spy game it feels just like another aspect of these multifaceted roles that the characters play. Not only is nothing lost by making the protagonist a spy, but it can only add to the potential of the game by diversifying the gameplay and narrative elements, as well as placing more of an importance on your character's actions. With the last few COD campaigns being nothing more than mindless shooters, so I hear, the franchise needs to evolve, and Black Ops 6 feels like it could be the basis of a full-length game, because it's not just a straight shoot-up for its runtime, but a game that understands that variety is the spice of game design. I'm yet to play another Black Ops campaign, but if they're all like this, then I have definitely been missing out on a wonderful espionage action series and I hope Call of Duty can pivot away from constant spectacle, which only serves to make the action less exciting, and try to make those epic moments more infrequent and by extension more special. I'll be back in 2 days. In the meantime, consider subscribing, and here's a video going more in depth about how Black Ops 6 is able to diversify itself.